guys, welcome to the Book Island. Today I'm going to be doing a review on Crimson Bound by Rosamund Hodge. So first up, I really liked the way that the story was introduced to us. So it takes place first in the 2 years before the plot actually kind of happens, you know? So it's like, instead of just like dumping a bunch of information on us right at the beginning to like set up the story, she actually lets us see the events and how they went down and stuff like that before before the entire plot starts. That's like the element that's like that like starts up the entire story. I know there's a term for that, but I completely forget what it is in English. So yeah, there's the whole plot idea of like the Great Forest and stuff like that, and I really loved that part of the story because it's such a unique thing. Like, I don't think I've ever heard of that kind of aspect or concept in any other story before, so I thought the aspect of like a forest and like how it's like a place within, it's like a dimension within our world, or like kind of like a parallel thing that you can like step into it and it's always living there alongside of us type of thing. And I liked how that developed within our world and then that world, and like how the characters kind of interacted with the forest and stuff like that. And I just thought it was really cool. And it's not something I've ever seen before in other books, and I liked how unique it was and how like this is a fairy tale retelling of Red Riding Hood, and how she could make it her own and kind of create this concept. The main character, Rochelle, had some kind of complexity to her, and I kind of enjoyed it because it was like, kind of like she was like having an inner battle constantly, and we kind of saw, the narration was third person, but we could still see the battle and Rochelle fighting within herself, and it was kind of beautiful kind of to see the emotional battle inside of her, that she thinks that she's damned, she thinks that she can't come back from whatever she's gone through and what she's done, but in the end we see her kind of develop more kind of and come to terms with everything that she's done and everything she will do to save people and protect the ones that she loves. Another thing that I really loved was that this story, I'm not completely certain, I don't really know if it is, but it kind of seemed like it was like 7th century France. So I don't know, I had the vibe that it was like that because they called it like Le Château du Soleil and Le Château de Lune and stuff like that, and like there's a king like Roi Louis, which is Le Roi Soleil or whatever, so I kind of got that kind of vibe that it was kind of 7th century France, and there were some like French words in it that kind of got anglicized and stuff like that, which really bothered me because when I was reading it I was like Chateau du Soleil, and I was like, that's probably how a few people are going to pronounce it, but that's not how you say it anyway, so it just kind of frustrated me a bit, but like it's not like a big deal. It didn't impact so much on my star rating for this book, but it was kind of something that kind of was like, like it kind of like whenever I would read it, I'd be like, oh, that kind of bugs me. So this next section is actually kind of a spoiler-ish, so maybe skip to another part. Yeah. I really enjoyed how Rosamund Hodge added in certain chapters, there was Zisa telling her own story of how she defeated the Devourer previously. Thinking about this, it kind of gave us an insight into the past, and it gave us an insight of the whole world that she created. It also kind of let us see parallels between Zisa and her journey to eventually killing the Devourer, and between Rochelle and her journey into wanting to defeat the Devourer. And so it was kind of very cool to see the parallels, and at the end I love how you see it kind of intertwine, and how Rochelle wakes up in the Devourer's like stomach, kind of. I think it was his stomach, and Ziza was there and she was telling her like the story, and how the whole time when Ziza's telling her own story, she was really telling it to Rochelle. so that Rochelle could then use this knowledge and information to fight the Devourer. And I thought that was very, very smart, and I thought that was so, so cool, and it kind of made the story kind of come together. All in all, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I think the aspect of the Great Forest kind of bumped the rating up for me. The plot itself was actually very interesting and stuff like that. The romance is kind of like weird to me. I don't know. I didn't feel like it kind of fit into the story. But anyways, it was there, and that's kind of why I didn't give it a 5 out of 5 stars. So, yeah. But other than the romance kind of thing, I had no issues with the book. I thought it was actually really well conceived. The ending was really satisfying, because usually I find with standalones the ending's kind of like sad because like that's it, you know? But with this book, I actually found that the ending was quite satisfying, and I enjoyed reading to the end kind of thing. So that's all for my review on Crimson Bound by Rosamund Hodge. I hope you enjoyed this review. I had fun doing it. And, you know, subscribe if you want to. Obviously, it's your choice, but it would really make me happy if you did. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on this book if you've read it before in the comments. Anyways, thanks for coming to my book island, guys. Bye!